Hello, and thank you for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. I'm True West here with you once again for another edition of the Solid Sports video blog. Our NFL Division Special previews continue as we will do the NFC West today as the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 30. Today's date is August 6th, 2020. Once again, thank you so much for watching. We'll look at the NFC West today. I just want to thank everybody. I thank all my supporters for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel and also the Solid Sports video blogs, as we were back weekly now since sports is sort of kicking back off, as all three major sports, well, four if you include hockey, is all going on at the same time. Well, other than football still got some weeks away, but we'll talk about football and all this week. Join me. I think I'm gonna do it, like I said, probably Saturday night. I'm gonna do episode 131 Saturday night. Keep your love. If you're a subscriber, definitely look out for it. Maybe I said it probably post sometime, probably be in the middle of the night, honestly. Definitely look out for that. I do have a video game playthrough in route right now, Cuphead. It's a game, if you are an Xbox player, you know that game is very popular on Xbox. It moved to the Switch earlier this year. Now it's on the PS4. Game did cost a lot, so I purchased the game and I'm gonna play it through. It's a difficult game. That game been kicking my butt, actually, the last 2 days. But I got 2 videos up right now. It's a playlist as well, already created. Cuphead, Don't Deal with the Devil. That's the whole title of the game. But now I know the sort of the storyline of the game now. So it's an interesting game. It's a fun game. I like it. It's just very difficult. But I've been playing that, so you can go check out the first 2 videos of that. Both about around 50 minutes each. So go check that out. Like I said, but we're gonna focus today on the NFC West. To be honest with you guys, I'm just gonna get this off my chest now and leave it alone. I had a bad week. I've had a bad morning. I almost was ready to just not do this. But I then forgot, well, yeah, it's Thursday. I got a blog planned for the day. But that's nobody's fault, and I'm not going to get into detail. Sometimes I get into detail about my personal life, but I'm not this time. Let's just say it's work related, and I'm trying to move on and just hopefully relax my mind and other days going around me as well. Yeah, it is personal, but I'm not going to get into that. So excuse me this morning if I kind of fly through this thing, but I'm still give you all the information that I know and that I want to give for this NFC West division preview. This division is very interesting, and I finally get to talk about the Rams. We want to talk about the Rams for a while because I wanted to look at their schedule, so I got that here. So we're gonna talk about that. But let's go ahead and get started, though. Of course, I always do the teams in alphabetical order. The first team we're talking about in the NFC West is the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, of course, with young quarterback Kyler Murray, made the huge trade for DeAndre Hopkins to go along with the veteran Larry Fitzgerald, so the offense should be a lot more potent this year just on that alone. They also got rid of David Johnson, so we'll see if that's a negative or positive. Lights just flicking. Hopefully we'll lose power. Weather's been bad. That's something else I wanted to touch on. The weather's been so bad, you know, on the East Coast this week due to the tropical storm that came up the coast. So hopefully everybody's safe from that as well. But let's stay focused. Let's look at their schedule. San Francisco to start the season at San Francisco. They played at AFC East this year, so a couple of East Coast trips. Washington, Detroit at home. At Carolina, that's the East Coast. At the New York Jets. At Dallas, 3 straight road games. Miami at home, Buffalo at home. So a lot of big games at home as well. They go to New England, though. That's a huge one. They go to the New York Giants. The division, they got Philadelphia at home, so pretty, some winnable games here for the Cardinals, but also some toughies on here as well. And then, like I said, I brought up DeAndre Hopkins. To me, he's top 3 receiver, period. To me, he's top 2 because only person you can think of is Antonio Brown, but he's not in the league right now. You know, I heard about his news. He finally got his suspension, so we'll see if somebody take a chance on him. But if he's not in the league, it's Julio Jones. Then to me, you gotta put Michael Thomas up there. I forgot about Michael Thomas for a second. But the DeAndre Hopkins is definitely top 3. Easily, because you probably could argue with the other 2 guys. Michael Thomas and Julio Jones are clearly the top 2 as of right now. But DeAndre Hopkins would probably take that 3 spot easily. I think he's going to open up this Arizona offense. Kyler Murray, I've seen a lot of promise out of him last year. Like I said, they played the Ravens last year. I watched that game. In that game alone, I saw flashes of how good he could be. Like I said, height used to be a big thing in the NFL for us quarterbacks. I don't think that matters anymore. I think you got to be, if you're mobile, I think that's more what the game is leaning towards. I don't think height has, it's probably still a factor, but it's not really a huge factor anymore. And Kyler Murray has proven that, and other quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson of Houston, I think he got some height on. I think both of them is over 6 feet, him and Lamar Jackson, but Kyler's definitely under 6 feet. With the baseball prospect as well, but I like his game. Cardinals are an interesting team. A lot of people even saying Kyler Murray could be a dark horse for MVP this year, but they have to probably win at least 10 games for that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I highly doubt that. Best thing I see here is 8-8, personally. But they could, but if they win more, if they do better than that, he definitely would be in a running for MVP, especially if he put up better numbers than he did last year. Those numbers wasn't that bad. I think it was 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I think the touchdown, I think that'll go up this year. And then on the ground, he was second in the league in rushing as a quarterback. So we'll see. Cliff Kingsbury, the coach, said, about to say the quarterback, the coach. His hire was sort of controversial because of his background, Mulliney College, and just moderate success, not really a lot of success, just had a lot of quarterbacks coming to the league. I think he coached Patrick Mahomes, so he got a lot of credit for that, and Metro Osno as well. So, but I don't think he did a bad job. I think the Cardinals, just like the Dolphins, they turned it on and played a lot better the second half of the year. And so did Kyler Murray in that offense. The defense wasn't too bad either. So we'll see. The Cardinals will be an interesting team this year to look out for. Definitely got some potential to do better than people think, but also possible they could have another rough season. But we'll see. Sorry about the noise. That's the ambulance. Sound like a fire truck running in the background. So there's not a good border so far at all. This border's been terrible, man. But let's move on. I gotta stay focused. Let's move on. The LA Rams is the next team up, and I really was interested in let alone them, the team, but they schedule. They lost Todd Gurley in the off season. I think Sean McVay, I don't think he's on the high seat or anything like that, but for me personally, I like Sean McVay. I think he deserves the credit that he has got since he's been in the league. Got the last Super Bowl a couple of years ago, lost to New England. But really, since that, the Rams has been an average football team, or a little below average to me. Todd Gurley, whatever was going on with that, they finally let him go. But he wasn't seeing a lot of carries. They credited it to injury at times, this and that. Jared Goff, which we're about to talk about, hasn't been sharp, To me, I think, I don't want to say he's overpaid because of the way the market is. He probably paid what he's worth. But I think, to me, he's proven to be just a system quarterback so far. I don't think he's like an evolutionary quarterback. I just noticed another thing I just noticed that messed up my morning, but I'll go get that. Left my water downstairs. Man. Let's look at this schedule. Let's stay focused. I'm not gonna let the negativity roll up in here. I really apologize about this. Because I was listening to the Rams schedule because I noticed when I was doing other schedules and when I was doing other previews, especially when I did a lot of the Eastern teams, the Rams was coming to visit them. So I'm like, wow, they got a lot of East Coast games. So now we're about to really see, you know, what I was saying. So I'm going to touch on all those games for sure. But they start Dallas at home. They go to Philadelphia. That's East Coast. At Buffalo, East Coast. Giants come to them at Washington, East Coast. At San Francisco, that's the division game. Chicago at home. At Miami, another East Coast game. At Tampa, and 2 weeks later, another East Coast game. They get Seattle at home in between that. At Arizona, San Francisco. New England does come to LA. Jets does as well. Okay, so what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. That's almost half their schedule. So that's a lot. That's a lot of East Coast games. Let me look at the Cardinals because, you know, because they play the AFC East, but that's only 2 games. But they only go to the Jets and the Giants. So just twice, 3 times New England. So Carolina, I guess, counts 4. So yeah, the West will have a tough time for us with that this year. 49ers up next. We'll see how their schedule look. But the Rams got a lot of East Coast games. 5 as I counted. Like I said, Jared Goff, not like I said, he's okay. I don't think he's terrible. I just think he gets the job done, which you need him to get done. He had monster games, so I can't go dismiss him like he's just anybody. But I think he definitely needs talent around, but he lost a lot of talent. Like that, Todd Gurley's gone. Cooper Kupp has issues with his contract, so there's things going on with the Rams. They moved to their new stadium supposedly this year if everything works out. Of course, we still got the coronavirus to deal with, so they was worried about the attendance. There won't be nobody there anyway because there ain't gonna be no fans in the stands probably for the majority of the season. But I think Jared Goff, I mean, for the system and everything here, I think he's a good fit. So he ain't probably they committed to him, so he ain't going nowhere. But I think some people argue that he's overrated, but I think some people argue that he's still somewhat underrated as well. If that makes some sense. But I'm not real high on him. I think he's okay, and that's all. Like I said, we talked about Sean McVay. Like I said, all same argument. They linked together right now. Yeah, the first 2 years was lights out. The last 2 hasn't been for Sean McVay. So we'll see if that continues. He's the youngest coach in the NFL, so that's definitely, gotta say, it's more of a hinder than an advantage. But he's done very well. I'm not dismissing, like I said, I'm not dismissing Jared Goff either. I just think that, if you wanted to reevaluate, I wouldn't have no problem with it. If you wanted to maybe look into something else, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I think both of them are great for this, for this team and for the system. But I think this year, if they flop, I think some people will start thinking how I'm thinking now. Like maybe, not saying that they need to be fired or they need to move on from Goff, but I'm just saying they haven't gotten it done. Since that Super Bowl loss, which usually take some franchises a couple of years to recover from that. Usually when you lose the Super Bowl, things usually do continue to go south after at least a year or so later. So with all that being said, can they bounce back this year? Like I said, schedule kind of tough. And I think it depends on Goff. Now that you don't have Gurley, I mean, they have some decent running backs behind them that filled in, but losing Todd Gurley, I don't care what how injured he was or whatever it was going on. To lose a talent like that in the offense. Defense, Aaron Donald, I gotta bring him up, which I probably should have brought him up earlier. He's probably one of the best players in the NFL. And he's the anchor of that defense. Anchor of that defense. and that's going to solidify the front. Jalen Ramsey, who they got in a trade last year, he's looking for a new contract, but he's not. I think I see the article on how he's not worried about he's going to come and play, so that's good. So hopefully he'll be focused. So that Rams defense, I think they need to get back to where they was that first year when they made the Super Bowl. Or they probably was the second year, but need to get back to that defense and let Goff still, develop and evaluate, the offense and everything. So Rams, like I said, I'm interested team to look out for because they could flip it and be a playoff team even with this division, baby. Speaking of winning the division, the last year division winners, the San Francisco 49ers. Let's look at their schedule. At Arizona at home, at the New York Jets, at the Giants, so they probably will stay in New York or New Jersey, whatever you want to call it, for them 2 weeks. Philadelphia, Miami, Rams, so 3 straight home games after that. After they come back from that trip. At New England, come back east. Then division game at Seattle, at New Orleans. They was in. I think honestly they beat New Orleans there. They made the Super Bowl. I think New Orleans should have probably come to. I don't know how the schedule necessarily works, but I think that should have been a home game for me personally. To get Green Bay home again though, but I think they deserve to get the Saints at home for beating them there last year, making it to the Super Bowl. At the Rams, then Buffalo, go to Dallas and Arizona. So Niners, the big question, like I just was saying with the Rams, Super Bowl hangover. Let's see if the 49ers take a step back. As far as the offseason, they kept a lot of their guys. They just signed Raheem Mostert. He was having some issue with his contract. They gave him what he needed. He's locked up. Jimmy Garoppolo continued to develop. We'll talk about him in a few minutes more in depth. George Kittle, they signed Jordan Reed from the Redskins. I brought him up. Or the Washington football team. Sorry. Probably should have a jar for that. Every time I say that word, put some money in a jar. But yeah, so they tied in. Are very deep now with George Kittle, of course, at the top, but Jordan Reed, if he stays healthy, he's a Boston tight end. Excuse me, to go along with George Kittle. So Niners trying to stay on top in the NFC West. Hangover, I don't know. I think it's sort of misconstrued, the Super Bowl hangover, I think, in certain ways. With the NFC, like I said, it's so deep. Maybe some of the games they won last year they won't win. The Philadelphia comes there. They got a couple of tough games at New Orleans when they go there and win again. Maybe not. At New England, New England to me. With Cam now, they back in the mix, but we'll see. We'll see. I think they also got some easy games on here as well. So we'll see how the Niners turn out. Like I said, we just talked about Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the quarterback. Like I said, he got a big contract as well, so he's not going nowhere. Was traded there from New England. I think it's been 2 years. I think this is last year was the second year. Obviously you can win with him. We got to the Super Bowl with him, so obviously he's capable of winning it if you could get there with the guy. And they was winning 20-10. In the fourth quarter, by the way, in that Super Bowl. But the Chiefs just turned it on like they always turn it on, and they wound up winning. Kyle Shanahan, I think he's a brilliant coach. I just think bad fact, I can't say that. I was about to sort of compare him to Jason Garrett, but Jason Garrett, no, you can't. He's above Jason Garrett. But I think as far as the best coaches are motivators, and they brilliant. I'm not saying the motivators will just bark at you and just pump you up and don't know about football, but the motivators, coaches, usually pushes their team more. I think the more laid back, the more offensive coordinator. Like another example, North Turner, brilliant mind, brilliant coach, brilliant mind with the offense, but as far as a motivator, a discipliner, he's not the guy. And that's why I think he never worked out as a coach. A few times he had a chance. So I think Kyle Shanahan had to separate himself from that. I mean, he's still early in his coaching career, so you don't know what he is yet. But I think that's the vibe. But that's the vibe I get from him. I'm just like, I ain't heard this from nowhere or read this nowhere. It's just the vibe I get from that. He's just, yeah, he's brilliant. Offensive mind, great offensive mind. But I think as far as it comes to like a football team, I think, not saying we have a post, but it's just, I mean, if people that the football fans will probably understand what I mean. Like, it's just, he just don't drive me as a motivator or a disciplined type coach, you know. But like I said, some coaches behind the scenes show that, but then when they're on the field, they're all about their business. So, but I think he should get a chance to run his team, and he just got an extension as well. So, Niners definitely set for whatever, and hopefully it works out for him. So we're down to one last team, and this to me is probably the most interesting team in the NFL, let alone the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks. Let's look at that schedule. At Atlanta, at Miami, that's 2 East Coast days. Buffalo 3, Philadelphia 4, Washington 5. So they got 5 East Coast trips as well from Seattle. You got the LA Rams, of course, division at San Francisco because the last game of the season. Got the Giants on here, the Jets, but they got them both at home. Sounds good. Instead of playing them both on the road. So Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Let me talk about him in a second, but the biggest news for them is they're making a trade for Jamal Adams from the New York Jets. I talked about this. I think they gave up too much. 2 first rounders is too much. I'm sorry, it's just too much to me. But that's what they gave up to get him. So hopefully he have a big impact. I think he's a great player, but I would have probably gave up 1 first rounder and some couple of lower rounder picks. Not 2 first rounders. This when they did it. I'm sorry, but that's what Seattle did. And now Jamal Adams will have to have a big impact. If not, that's crazy. The trade will be criticized for a while. But like I said, Russell Wilson, he seemed happy. He riding his new big contract. Just had a kid. I think what's the name of the kid? Wynn. It was just crazy, but yeah. Sierra looks beautiful, by the way. Had another child, so congratulations on that, Russell Wilson. But forget that. He's just, like I said, he's probably the best quarterback in the league, I argue. Not that much with Patrick Mahomes, but after anybody else, you got to put him up there. What he's done on the field, that's why I still believe in this team, even though they lost the Legion of Boom and all that stuff is over. And they was the anchor of that defense, and was a big reason why they won the Super Bowl over Detroit, over the Denver Broncos, which I watched with Peyton Manning. They put up 55 touchdowns. They shut them completely down in that Super Bowl 49. I believe it was, because Denver was able to come back and win Super Bowl 50 over the Carolina Panthers. But yeah, like he's definitely from that guy that I just talked about that first year. I think it was his rookie year when they won the Super Bowl. Until now, it's a completely different guy. He's at peace, not just on the field, but off the field, his personal life. So Russell Wilson, definitely, a lot of people put him second. I can't argue that. You know, maybe Drew Brees, you can bring him up before Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson has done a hell of a job for the Seahawks. And he's just one of my favorite players in the league as well. And I just said they're NFC contender, not just NFC West contender. I think so. Like I said with Russell Wilson, I think, you know, he got the experience of winning one, even though, you know, the offense wasn't fully his yet, but now this offense is definitely his. Having given him a lot of offensive line help over the years, so he's been running around, getting hit. So I think, yes, I think so. So I think Seattle will be there in the end. So that's it. We went through all 4 teams. Like I said, I apologize for this video. I know it's a little choppy. I'm tired. I'm gonna give me some rest, man. And like I said, I hope everybody's safe through the tropical storm, through coronavirus or whatever's going on. Like the world is just flipped upside down right now. Like I said, I had a rough week myself, so I just hope everybody else had a decent week and is doing well. Of course, we got one division left, the AFC West, which will be interesting. The defending champion Kansas City Chiefs will do that next Thursday. But like I said, we got our regular weekly blog. Episode 131 will be, like I said, right now it's scheduled for Saturday night. If I can fit it in before then, I will. But right now, that's going to be the timetable there, and we can talk about basket NBA, which is doing great right now as well. Probably pick out, we'll talk. Pick out who I've been impressed with so far. Definitely the Houston Rockets, definitely up there. Milwaukee has looked good at times, even though they played each other. Houston won. Lakers been up and down, like other teams been up and down, but yeah, we'll definitely dive into that. Dive into some more baseball, which is getting another way. They had some Rockets of the Marlins finally playing the game, but they swept the Orioles 3 games since they got out of quarantine from Corona, so not affected them at all. See what the Cardinals do. I think they play probably tomorrow. The other team that had an outbreak, so we'll see with all that. We'll talk about all that Saturday. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Again, watch Cuphead, that's on right now. So check that out on the South Social Gamer channel. And I thank you guys for all your support. I'm Troy West, and thank you very much. I apologize again this morning for the video, for maybe my attitude is not great. But I thank you guys so much for all the support. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys Saturday night. Thank you so much. Thank you.